kind of does the same thing with us. He chooses us for a specific reason and a purpose that he has for us that nobody knows about. And you might not even know about yet. Kind of like he chose King David and nobody would have known it. So every single night at Fireside, is that what this is called? At Fireside, I'm going to give you a different name that you've been called. And tonight it is, hello, my name is Chosen. You've all been chosen to go to bed. To eventually go to bed. But to also do something really awesome and really amazing with your lives that God has planned for you. So you guys, pretty good foundation. I used all of the tools, all of the things I was provided with, all 10 of my fingers to build this thing up. And then what you do is you just start taking random pieces out of it, right? And so you have to be careful which ones you take out, because if you take the wrong one out, what happens? It falls, right? So when I start taking all my God pieces out of my tower, it falls down. Correct? Yes. So just something for you to think about, I guess, going into the rest of your day is, what are you building your life on? What are you building your Jenga tower on? Do you have a good foundation that's going to hold it up? Or have you kind of just let it stand there and you started to take the important pieces out of it? That price tag that was slapped onto your forehead by somebody, what would it say? Let's just try to wrap our heads around that for 1 minute, that we are so worth it and so valuable to God and to Jesus. You are. That he died for you. A guess at what your name for tonight might be? Does anyone have one? Yes. Valuable. Hello, my name is Valuable. And what's really cool from our shelter chats this morning is the verse that I would normally have up on a PowerPoint with tonight's name comes from Matthew chapter 6. And it says, Jesus is telling his disciples about, Jesus used a lot of object lessons, kind of like how I was trying tonight when he would say, he says, look at the birds and look at the flowers, and he says, how the birds don't worry about anything, but aren't you far more valuable to him than they are? Yeah. And aren't you? Yeah. Because Jesus didn't die for the birds, he died for you. Aren't you far more valuable? So hello, my name is Valuable. And like you mean it, hello, my name is Valuable. There you go, somebody who's gonna close. King David was small, he was a shepherd boy, he was smelly. Everybody said, there's nothing we can do with him, so we're just gonna make him the shepherd. And God said, I have a purpose for him, and made him king, and he went on to be the greatest king that Israel had. And so each of you, sometimes people in our lives are kind of like, I don't really like that about Cassie, or I don't really like that about this person, or I don't really like that about this person. And so they're like, there's nothing we can really do with it. But then God does the same thing for us, right? That he did with King David. And the same thing that they did to Jesus. They said, we don't know. We don't know about this guy. But that was, Jesus is the foundation. Jesus is the cornerstone. Jesus is the blueprints. Jesus is what we build our lives on, right? We said last night that if you had a price tag, it would say, God's blood. Valuable. Jesus' blood or Jesus' life. So once that blood has already, it already has been. So since that blood's been shed for you, and since God said, this is my way of showing you how amazingly I love you, is there anything or anyone that can take that away from you? No. Will God ever take that away from you? No. The big cookie is God's love compared to everything else.
Just like the big sponge.
Correct? And like the big sponge and the big tennis ball. We agreed that all three of these things, in these cases, bigger was better, yes?
No.
Yes. It is bigger and inseparable than any other love that exists. So somebody guess what your name is.